Hello, chat. Hello, greetings. Yumi gas station. What are we getting for dinner? Fish. Oh, that one's a classic. Hello, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Hello, chat. And by the way, just so you know, everybody can hit him with a certified absolute fish moment. I didn't expect to be streaming this late today. I expected to be live much earlier, but turns out hosting events, not easy. It turns out having plans, very difficult. I had a lot of things I needed to do today. I ran around quite a bit today. It was a lot. It was a lot, but we made it work. So I wanted to say hello to everybody, because tomorrow I'm hosting my board game invitational, and the main reason I am doing that, for those of you not in the know, it's a little loud, turn it down a little bit more, is next week on Tuesday. It'll be my birthday. My birthday's the 27th. I'm a special little Earth Day little bear, little boy. Not a little boy. I'm an adult man. But because it's my birthday coming up, I wanted to have a little event on Saturday because no, I feel that. I am an emoticon over emoji guy all the way every day around the sun. I just like one of the first things I did on Discord when it became like an automatic thing is I switched off. I switched off the automatic because I'm not about that. I just want to hit capital B, closed parentheses. Get these real sunglasses out of here. That's too quirky for me, personally. But yeah, I'm having a little event, a little tournament. I've got a few competitors lined up. I've decided to keep the bracket secret, as some of the competitors have announced themselves over on Blue Sky. Every post of those posts, my friend Flicker, and a brand new acquaintance, Libby. I'm very excited. Yes. No, I had a friend who literally they only used mobile Discord and they hated it. They literally, and this was like years ago at this point, they gave me their login information so I could log in on my computer to turn it off for them. Cause like, why is that? Oh, hey, welcome from Min's Discord. Yes, Min is another competitor. I believe that was discussed on stream, but it wasn't. I don't know if it was posted about. But yeah, Min is another competitor. I'm quite excited because I've known Min for a very long time. I've known Min since before their rebrand, back when they were still. Is fleshy the right word to use for that? Back before they were using their current wolf. But they are Min now, so I will refer to them as Min. Min is one of the competitors. I'm very excited to have them on. Because I've known them for a while, and it's been a while since we've done anything together content-wise. That should be fun. No, Min wasn't always a furry. I mean, that's the thing. This was, like, during the pandemic era. This was back during the pandemic. This was on... Oh my god, was it Resonant SMP, I think? Was when we met? That was so long ago at this point. I think that was Min's server. I forget who... I know it was only me and one other person who really played on it. I forget exactly whose server it was. But no, Min is a longtime friend, and I'm very excited to have them on. I think it'll be a very interesting event. It's been a while since I've hosted an event too. So, you know, it's really getting back into the swing of things. It's reminded me how absolutely stressful an event like this is. Like, it is, ooh god. There's that's the thing, it's, once the event gets going, some of the pressure falls off on me, because then I can, you know, I've gotten a bunch of content creators together to play board games. Like, the onus falls off of me to bring the entertainment, but I do have to bring the admin side of things. And god, that is stressful. Here, before I yap any further, let's jump into the game. It's just taking a moment for Minecraft to actually display. But yeah, I'm very excited. And, you know, I'm doing this mainly for two reasons. It's because earlier today, I had an idea for what I wanted to do in terms of, like, the finishing touches on the arena. So I need to... There we go. There we go. Finally picked up. Reload. I'm just doing this on a single-player world. My plan... from this point on... There we go. Once I'm done, I'm probably just going to get, like, an Eternos server started up. Just so that everybody can hop on together. There we go. I'm also, at this time, I'm unable to... I have to operate on a single monitor for this, for reasons I'm not getting into at this time. So I need to remind myself, this entire stream, another purpose of it is just to test, like, the single monitor stream, just to ensure that everything is operating properly. So I would like to thank everybody for their patience. Okay, there we go. That should be fine. There we go, chat's up on my phone. Okay, perfect. So yeah, the plan is, if you haven't seen my Minecraft world, I just normally play on a single player world. I don't like building. That's something to know about me. I don't like building. I don't really. I love contraptions. I love doing stuff with redstone. This is not my original design. Credit to Trilloms for the design. I did expand it a little, just more for the sake of, to make the bees more efficient, because one thing I am going to announce something special regarding viewer rewards after or during the tournament. I'm not decided exactly which point, but the bee farm was very vital for that to go live. Yeah, so this is very simple. I literally spawned up there. There's a dripstone cave, there's a cherry blossom forest over there, which is why we have this. Huge cave. This is just an amazing spawn. There's a mansion like 1,000 blocks in that direction. It's great. Got my little bone meal maker. And while I was off stream, I made myself this little storage area. Because that's the thing. I don't like making homes. I don't know what it is. I'm against housing when it comes to Minecraft. Just because, like, obviously if I'm playing in, like, a multiplayer world, I'll build a house just to keep my stuff in. But like if I'm just playing single player, I'm putting all my stuff out in an empty field. I don't want to try and plan a bunch of, oh, what are all these rooms gonna be ahead of time? I don't need to do that. I don't need to do all that. I'm just gonna put my shit in a field and just vibe. Yeet. Does that count? No, that doesn't count. Lame. Really, is it in what way? I have to ask, what way? Let's make some more bread. There's also a perfect opportunity for me to organize my inventory. I have a lot of sand. You'll see, if you haven't seen any of the screenshots teasing the event, you'll see why I have this much sand momentarily. Let's put these away for now. I'm just gonna, this is just organizing. To make some big giant things a base, it was so much. Like, that's the thing for me. Like, I don't want to make a base, because I know if I start, like, building a base and making that my... If I have just one big goal, ignoring that, I know I'm just gonna, like, give up on it, because I just don't want to. Stupid mangrove. Oh, gosh. I haven't even found mangrove yet. Because this is, like, my first time really playing survival in a while. That isn't, like, that's the thing. Not to say that I've never played it, but it's like in the last year, was playing a lot of unmodded servers with friends. And it's like, I just want to play... I like vanilla. There's something nice about it. Honestly, we have just about everything we need. So, the idea today... No, actually, we don't have everything we need, because I do need one other thing. I need shears. Because here's what we're doing today. Aside from catching up with chat, and here I'll just keep 2 iron on me, just in case I need more. What we're doing today is, I realized I really like... Oh, it was on an SMP because me working on the base was yay isolation. Oh no. Yeah, so obviously recently Minecraft added, this is a very recent effect. I forget it was in like the current, like latest version or in the last version. I just know this is a very recent update. And I realized with the particle effects from cherry blossom trees, it looks really nice. Because I know it was something they were testing when they first did Caves and Clips with that one flower. And because I like it so much, I thought, what if I just like made a roof? So before we go any further, allow me to show you the arena, so to speak. Azaleas. Yeah, I haven't found them. Yes, I think that is it. The one in like the lush caves. I haven't come across a lush cave yet. I think I came across like one in the craft mine mode. Anyway, behold, this is our arena. And here's the thing. It is somewhat bare bones, but I kind of like it. Like, it is minimal. Arena is really overselling it. That's kind of the bit. That it's more like, you know, it's an arena in the sense that, like, cornhole at, like, a summer barbecue is like a battleground. It's very simple. Because I wanted to build it all in survival, and I'm not, like, super geared up. But it's fine. Just gonna... wait for sunset to hit. And this also means I can finally officially talk about what all 7 games are. Because I know I've only talked about 5. We have Checkers, which I thought this would be a fun way to represent it by finding another way to utilize the cherry leaves. We have Moncala, which I've got the pieces here, and this is just for Tic-Tac-Toe, which is there. I'm very excited for Moncala and Connect 4, because I quite love those games. Those ones are probably going to be much longer than the other two here that are just a bit more rapid fire. I'm very excited for Moncala, though. Then obviously we have Connect 4 over here, which, another thing, I meant to put the dirt away, another thing I'm very proud of is, so here we have some pieces. This is a redstone build. One of my favorite things to build with redstone is Connect 4, because I've devised a mechanism. It's a little contraption, and I'm happy about this one because this is original design. In the sense that, like, I didn't come, you know, I didn't get any inspiration. I didn't come from anybody else's idea on it. Like, I thought it up, and so, you know, somebody else has probably done it, but I did it unassisted, which I'm quite proud of. So you press the button, and it deposits all the pieces in the side. Because I did this for, the main reason is because, first of all, you know, Connect 4, the whole point is you are dropping the pieces in. So I thought, you know, obviously use a gravity block. But then I also think about, you know, with the board, it usually has that little slider thing at the bottom, so you can just eject everything at the end. So I wanted it to be a bit more realistic. Then we have, this is the arena for dice. Which, to give an idea, I don't know if you can hear it when I roll. I don't know if that hurt. I've got these, kind of rubber, it's kind of like a rubber material die. They're also pride die. And the idea is I'm going to roll the dice a few times. And based on, you know, what do you, it's, you know, the competitors, what do they think the result is going to be? And then I'll just edit these signs to give points to either side. Then the two games that haven't really been announced. One of them is Lightning Round, which there's only a book and quill here, and that's for a very simple reason. It is going to be giving them a topic. Like, for example, the topic is you know, pronoun. Ooh, dolphin. The topic is pronouns. Then they get up to 10 seconds to start thinking of answers. And if either, you know, 10 seconds pass or they give an answer, then, you know, they have 60 seconds to name off as many items in the category as possible. So it's like, yeah, here you go, 60 seconds to name as many pronouns as possible. Which, again, pronouns is not one of the items, if any of the competitors are lurking in the stream right now, but it's kind of a general idea of what the kind of topics are going to be. The topics are known only by me. I have not shared them with any of the competitors. I have told a friend who is not competing, and, you know, has no relation to any of the competitors, but, you know, I did want to note, you know, it's basically just me who knows. And the final game doesn't have an arena, because it is what I'm calling Dealer's Choice. And that is kind of the culmination of what we're doing here. The idea is, you know, I think of it like a Smash Bros. Tournament, where there are 7 options, and each player can ban 2 up until the grand final, which won't have any bans. It'll be a best of 3, and then again the grand finals, which is a best of 5. You cannot ban Dealer's Choice, because both players have to agree to play it. But then it can be essentially whatever the players decide. However they want to decide the winner, they go for it. Oh, shit, Mana. Hello, welcome. Hello, Mana. Welcome to the stream. I'm explaining tomorrow's event. How was your stream? What were you guys playing? Were you playing XCOM again? I was not able to catch. I was in recordings. What were y'all doing? Hello, welcome. But yeah, so it's kind of that. Oh, Fire Emblem. Yes. Oh, I do remember seeing that on Blue Sky. I should have remembered that. Hello, I need to piss. Go. Go piss, girl. Go piss, gamer. Yes. Yes. Yeah, so that's kind of the structure. So I'll actually get started now, because that's one thing I'll do this here. I'm just going to plant a few saplings just to get the trees started. Because what we're going to do is we're just kind of going to just envelop the entire area with these. And I do realize... Ooh, Sonic Adventure 2 jumps. I've not played enough of the Sonic games, honestly. Hang on, I need to finish my thought first, because I know I'll get unrelated tangent. But yeah, essentially we're going to be covering the arena in cherry leaves, because I think they'll be cool. My only experience with Sonic games, actually, weirdly enough, is I played the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing on the Wii. And then beyond it, I had this one, educational kids handheld device that had a Sonic game on it that I remember playing all the time. Could not tell you what the name of it was, though. Okay. Yeah, so the two goals, we're gonna kind of make a canopy of cherry blossom leaves. And then we're also going to... That one I'm going to use to just farm more saplings, because Yes, the edutainment systems. I remember playing a SpongeBob game on there as well. Those are the two I remember. SpongeBob and Sonic. Yeah, I also want to add a little board in the middle, just to show, oh, people are moving on. But then I would need items to, represent everybody. Welcome back, Mana. I always feel bad on if I'm pronouncing the first part of your username correctly, even though I know damn well I switch up the pronunciation all the time. Are you making a game show? Kind of. It is the Save State board game Invitational. I'm gonna put the dirt away. And what I thought would be the most convenient would be to just build all the games within Minecraft. I use both. Okay, thank God. Okay, less shame on me. Yeah, so that is kind of the idea. And today, so it is being hosted tomorrow. So I'm putting the finishing touches on it. I wanted to use... See, the thing is, I'd start sharing these now, but I do want to make sure I have a supply. I'm also going to need to build a new shovel. Amusement park or game show game in Minecraft. Yeah, I have... So here's what I'll say. I have 9 people who have accepted the invitation. The idea is 8 competitors. What my plan is basically I'm just kind of working off the assumption that despite everybody wanting to, one person will not show up. I already know who this person is because of information that person has provided me, so that's why I'm not gonna put them on blast live, because I know they really want to show up, and they still might. If all 9 people show up... Oh yeah, no, I know you mentioned. It would have been fun having you on, Mana. So the idea is, if all 9 people show up, then basically it's just whoever is last gets to act as a commentator. It is fun trying to balance availabilities in an event like that. I'm happy I'm doing this stream beforehand, because I get to talk kind of candidly about... I was like, am I on fire? I get to talk kind of candidly about the process of, running an event before it actually starts. It's very hard to plan around people's availabilities. It is not easy. Alright, I'll take some of these. I'll start taking some of these, because we got a good amount of... I mean, look at those blossoms. Ooh, that's a beautiful color. That is a beautiful particle effect. It'll be fun because people will still be able to commentate. Because one thing I dislike about, you know, tournament-style things like this, because I am taking inspiration from a few videos I've watched over the years. Honestly, two of which are... one of which, Dealer's Choice, is directly inspired by Doug's Figure It Out tournament. Like, I will state that now. That is an idea that I am inspired by Doug for that, for the sake of... Yeah. Our competitors will be competing in a series against test their mental intelligence. Yep. That's what Dealer's Choice is inspired by. Obviously, you know, there is a case where, just because of the nature of the tournament, at least, like, there is a non-zero chance 2 games never get played. Like, they get banned every round and then never chosen in the final round. It's very likely, although, based on the range I'm seeing of what people are saying they are confident in, I have a feeling every game is going to be played at least once. Which I'm very much hoping for. Cherry leaves. One thing I am worried... What the hell? Oh. Like, what the hell did I just take damage from? Stub my toe or something? Oh, perfect. I needed bone meal. I am worried. Also, what's an airport? Thank you for the follow. But I am... Oof. There's a lot of things running through my brain. Again, to just talk candidly, it is not easy to host an event. It is very stressful. There is a lot you have to think about. Oh, God. Again, if I can just be perfectly candid, I've been feeling, like, anxious about this all day. Because I am genuinely so worried about, like, all the things that can go wrong. It's not something I've talked about so much. What I will say is I have, like, I am officially diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. And, like, 99% of the time I can forget about it. And then, like, there's the 1% of the time where I can't ignore it. And I've just felt like, I want to say nonstop stress for the last 3 hours at least. And it's... Yeah, I get here, mental health discussion. Woo, surprise, mental health discussion. It's not fun having an anxiety disorder, because there is the logical part of my brain that is like, you know, this is not the first time you post an event. You have a bunch of people who are really excited to show up. You have contingency plans in case things go wrong. Like, you got this, save. And there's another part of me that's like, what if they don't work, though? And that part is unfortunately very loud. So, you know, I believe in myself. I believe, you know, I got this. I've planned for this. You know, this is going to be fun. This isn't like... Because the last time I tried to host an event, it was years ago at this point. It was, I tried to host, a UHC themed around my B plugin. Glaring flaw, seeing through thing. Yeah, exactly. My B UHC. Which, I remember you know, I tried to get a bunch of people together, and again, for any event that I have hosted in the past, and even for this this event now, I am so grateful to everybody who said they want to show up. I'm so grateful for everybody who has accepted the invitation. I'm so grateful for all the people who I reached out to, and, you know, they said they couldn't make it because they were busy, or said they couldn't make it because they already had collabs planned, anything like that. Like, the fact that people have expressed interest in this silly little thing I want to do just to just have some fun, to celebrate my birthday a little early. Like, the fact that so many people have said they're interested, like, I'm super hyped about that. It makes me really happy to know that... Okay, there we go. Good. They will grow here. Just another thing to be worried about. Because, like, that was one thing I was worried about. Because I started planning this about a week and a half ago. Where it started as just, like a Connect 4 invitational. Like, that's what it started. Originally, the idea was just this. Just give me an excuse to build Connect 4 in my world and be done with it. And then it evolved a little bit. I have been doing a lot of offline prep. I will confess, the concrete powder for Connect 4 and the concrete powder for Mon Cala, I did spawn those in with creative. Everything else I gathered on my own. I'm gonna be so dead ass. I did not want to start looking for dye just to make, like, a handful of concrete powder. I did spawn that in, but everything else I've gotten legitimately. I do want to disclose that, because I enjoy being honest in regards to that. Like, everything else is sincere, but, you know, I do want to disclose when I have used creative mode. And, like, obviously in the grand scheme, it's like, the fact that I use creative mode to, like, create some of the pieces, it's like, I know that's gonna... Yeah. Concrete's annoying to get in Moss, yep. Like, I don't... And that's the thing, it's like, I don't want to use dupers because that is a new skill, and I've learned enough of those for the time being. No, I think it's very admirable. I think it's very cool what people can do with Minecraft. Like, I was on TikTok earlier today, and I saw, like, somebody had set up a pretty simple trap in UHC, actually. That was just, like, using the gold block at a ruined portal to set up a sticky piston dripstone trap. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, like, sometimes you just gotta cut some corners. And what I'm happy about is, am I cutting corners? Yes, but I'm not cutting corners on something that's, like, vital to the event. Like, I am not just taking, like, literally anybody. Like, I have taken a look at, everybody who wants to... It's like, I didn't just scroll through my friends list and invite literally everybody. Like, did I reach... I reached out to, VTubers who I'm mutuals with, who it's like, hey, I haven't really talked with them before, but, why not invite them? Could be a fun time. Ooh, that was one of the sapling ones. Eating a dessert for concrete is very... Yeah. Eating a desert. Yeah. That would be... And that's the thing, it's only, like, a stack or so overall, but even then, it's like, that's annoying, I don't want to do that. It, like, when it comes to, like, I have to make 6 different colors of concrete powder, it's like, I don't want to, though. Like, I'd rather just spawn them in and just tell people I spawned them in. Like, nobody's gonna crucify me for that. Like, I'm sure most people in my situation would do the same. It's like, it's just concrete powder. It's like, it is what it is. Yeah. Bam. Yeah, I'm very excited. Another fun fact about this is I love building Connect 4. Like, I did mention, original design. Original to me. The thing is, though, is, like, I always go so long between building it, I always forget how to build it. Obviously all the redstone is housed in here. I think it's kind of obvious that it's housed in here, but that's the fun of it, where it's like, it's not 100% clear how it's housed in. It's not 100% clear, like, how the pistons are all set up like this. especially when, Plank's down there. And I quite enjoy the mystery. To me, it's kind of like a magic trick, if that makes sense. Which, fun fact, I did have a little magic phase in high school. Ooh, some of those are decaying. Oh, because they must have been from that tree, and they're outside the range. So there's one magic trick I know how to do from when I was in high school. I know I learned another one from my physics teacher, actually, but I have not retained that information. Not even because it was like, oh, this is boring. It's like, no, honestly, physics, when I was in high school, that was like one of my favorite classes. The teacher was so cool. I think he has like a goat farm or something. I've always wanted to visit that. I might do that one of these days, but that's an entire other side tangent. He was a cool dude. Honestly, it is kind of a shame what happened with that class, because, like, the physics teacher, like, he did say, like, he let people know ahead of time, like, this is going to be the hardest class you're going to take in high school. And, I mean, props to the man. He's talking about physics. Like, I think there are a lot of times where you look at a teacher who's saying, some of you might not pass this class. Obviously, he didn't say exactly that, but, like, he's given the vibes of, like, this is a very difficult class that you might not pass. And it's like, this is like Poetry 101. Like it's like, it's a high school physics class. It is understandably very difficult. And it's also like, it ended up being like, I graduated in 2020, and we all know what happened that year. So it's like trying to learn physics online in when you are 18. It's not easy. And fun fact, I think a third of our class actually did flunk the physics class. Which, in my teacher's defense, it's because they were cheating and bad at it. I forget if... Alright, there we go. That is 2 shears gone. And we can just make more if we need to. We have plenty of iron. I forget if I've told this story, but basically, when I was in high school, in our final, as our teachers adapted to our online learning, what my physics teacher opted to do, yes, Mana, people always forget, here, yes, I was born in 2002, to give you right, like, next week I'm turning 23. That is, I always love when friends and acquaintances find out how young I am, because people always assume I'm a lot older than I am. Main contributing factor is I have a very deep voice, which I'm proud of. I rock it. Yeah, no, I am. People are always surprised to know that I am typically the youngest person in the friend group. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Because, like, I work in pizza delivery, and everybody there at the pizza place I work at thinks I'm in, like, my 30s. Like, old 20s, young 30s. I graduated college last year. Like, I am young. I mean, obviously, it's like, relatively speaking, in terms of online spaces, but it's like, yeah, I was... Like, I grew up on FNAF. How old I am, because they always undershoot even when I say I'm old. Yeah, because here's the thing, is what, like, to put it into reference, Five Nights at Freddy's came out when I was in middle school. If that helps put it in perspective. I was in middle school when Five Nights at Freddy's came out. Like, the way people talk about, like, kids who like FNAF now. I was a FNAF kid before content farms existed. I was, as the Chalk Eaters put it, a kid of the FNAF. Yeah, I do remember XCOM 2 when I was young. So I think for my own sake, I'm gonna kind of divide it into 3 individual canopies. Because as much as I enjoy, maybe even a fourth just in the middle for, like, putting in the bracket that I want to put in. Bam. I don't want to let anything despawn. I would feel bad. The game is going to be 10 cent. Yeah. Another fun fact. Oh, God. And Dead by Daylight is also turning 10 this year, I think. Another crazy fun fact. Dead by Daylight is a game that is younger than the first FNAF game. That's honestly one of the reasons why I've always wanted Dead by Daylight in FNAF ever since I started playing back in like 2018. I've wanted Dead by Daylight in FNAF. Or FNAF and Dead by Daylight. I said that in the wrong order. Because FNAF predates Dead by Daylight. Objectively, it does. Yeah, yeah. God, when did the Xbox 360 come out? I need to look. I need to look this up now. Oh my god, it literally, yes, oh my god. It literally is 20 years old. It's 20 years old later this year. My brother is younger than the... Is he younger or older? God, he's older. My brother is older than the Xbox 360. Just barely. I think of it as crazy too, because like that, the console like I grew up with was the PS2, and like the Wii, and it's like, again, I don't like, it's like, because my older brother had the PS2, and then like I got a Wii when I was like 8. FNAF 1 is 11 years old. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, my chair's creaking. Oh no, I gotta reposition. There we go, that feels better. Oh my god, that's crazy to think about. Here, let's start the build. I don't want to build it too high, but I do want to build it, like, over there. I'm gonna I need to Google what the leaf decay range is. Leaf decay range. Spontaneous decay, if they receive a block tick, they are not connected to a block with the log tag directly with a maximum distance of 6 blocks. Wait, oh, but it says... Okay, I need to look at the Minecraft wiki now. Leaves placed by players never decay. Okay. I'm gonna move it 8 out, just in case, because I don't 100% trust the wiki. And we'll see. That doesn't feel real. Hang on, I've had the belief so long that you need to put down... I'm just gonna put that under, just so we can mark where it was. We're trying to achieve with leaves. Honestly, I just think that the blossoms falling is a really pretty effect. They split hands and everything. See, that's the thing. I've just always had the belief that you needed to place them down anyway. That's the thing. I don't actually know if that's true. I think what happened is that's just something I like believed as a kid. Because I just, I knew about obviously leaves decaying from the trees. So I just assumed you needed to place a leaf there. That might just be something that I just made up in my head. That could just straight up not be like a real thing. And I've just gaslit myself. Place a few leaves in a corner and do something else for the project and see if they decay. True. But I also do want to be productive. I think that's the right height. Yeah, that's the right height. I mean, I think it should be fine. I'm still gonna use the... There we go. Just because I want to keep reference. Oh, we need to chop this one down. Speaking of decaying leaves. Yeah, I just want to go with the cherry just because I just think it looks pretty. That is true. That is technically true. I feel like that is classified as arson, but they would be decaying. So I will give you half a point. This is why I can never have streams where I'm just yapping, because I lose the plot so fast. I've lost my train of thought. That's fine. I don't know, I do enjoy the yapping streams, though. Also, I'm gonna need so many more shears. Okay, yeah, they would have decayed by now. Yeah, I guess that's just something I made up in my head. I guess I just gaslit myself into thinking that player-placed leaves decay. Well, that's very convenient for me. It does. I mean, yeah. It's like, what else are you gonna do while you place the blocks? Yeah. I also do realize that I am gonna need so many, because... Oh, yeah. Thank you for popping in, What's an Airport. Glad we were able to vibe for a little bit. Thank you for your follow earlier. Thank you for popping along with Mana. Yeah, I'm gonna keep yapping. Yeah, okay, I do remember what I was previously... One of the things I was previously talking about, at least, was... So, yeah, when I was in high school, basically what my physics teacher did to teach us was what a lot of teachers did was they just had, like, video class. So, like, obviously it was a case of, we hop on, like, a Zoom meeting, or it's kind of a Google equivalent because we were all using Chromebooks, but, we all hop on, like, a Google Classroom call and sit in for the lesson. Water. And, that was traditionally it. Or it's like, or we, had a project and we met up with the teacher at individual parts of the class, stuff like that. What my physics teacher did was he, at class time, he would just post a video lecture. He'd post himself going through the slideshow. And, he just kind of expected us to take notes, to just, go based off the information provided. It was very much a trust-based system. And it's like, I honestly, I fuck with that. I vibe with, I love that. Like, you know, obviously it's like, you know, kind of hard to employ a trust-based system with a bunch of teenagers who can't go outside, but I respect him for doing it. Now, the reason why a bunch of kids failed the class, as I mentioned, was cheating. The cheating was pretty bad. Like, that's the thing. And it is inherently just easier to cheat online classes, because obviously, you know, you have a lot more tools at your disposal. You know, it's not like the heavily monitored classroom environment, and this isn't me endorsing cheating, of course. Especially, you know, with the rise of ChatGPT, which is just making educators' lives hell. But, you know, I can see why kids would want to do it to get ahead. Oh, there's the rain. So what happened is, you know, this teacher is like, you know, state of the world is terrible. What I'm going to do for these kids is I'm just going to make the final test, because everybody was exempt from the final exams, which that made me upset, because there was a rule as well that seniors, if you had a 90% average overall in your class, you didn't have to take your final exam. You just got it. They were like, you know, cool, see ya. You're just completely exempt. And I worked so damn hard and I was exempt from all my final exams. But because of the pandemic, so is everybody else. And it's like, this is significantly less special because I didn't have to work for it. Obviously, it's like, you know, situation out of my control. And way more important things going on with a global pandemic than me not having to take any exams. But it sucked. Yeah, I'm glad I already committed to the idea that I'm going to need a lot of leaves for this. I'm only going to go to third layer. I just wanted to do the double there because I felt it was light. I hope this isn't going to be too many particle effects for people's computers. Actually, I kind of messed with the double layer. Yeah, so to get back on topic, the teacher, essentially what he did was he made the final test, because he wanted to be easy on us, he made it just a 6-question test. Now, the number of questions, especially in physics class, isn't like a huge indicator of it being easy. I do have a hiring process that I can just yoink. I'm not going to do that for all of them. That one was just having to be there. So, you know, he made it basically 3 questions that are, you know, you do the math and show your work, and 3 questions that are just short answer. Now, I don't remember what I got on this exam. I do remember what happened with other people, though, because, you know, we were using Schoology, you know, one of those things. And he posted on it, and he was like, hey, so I noticed that on a lot of these tests, these 2 wrong answers popped up very frequently. It was one short answer. It was like one short answer. The topic was, do men or women... Alright, I gotta go grab more. Do men or women tend to more frequently lose their, you know, hearing at a certain frequency, and which one? Is it higher or lower? Very simple question. It is that question, if you do not know it, that is 2 coin flips that can be very easily figured out if you just... Like, this is barely even a physics question. That's more of a biology question at that point, which is a significantly easier topic. It's like, what do you know about, like, men versus women? Do you understand, like, human bodies? That is 2 coin flips, even if you don't know. Which is obviously, it's like, men lose hearing at higher frequencies. Like, that hearing gets reduced over time. And of course, every single one of these tests were showing that it's women losing hearing of lower frequencies. And it's like, so it's like, it's like 10 students getting the coin flip wrong twice. Just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that'd already be a pretty interesting coincidence if it's, 10 people. Let's make 3 more shears just because I don't want to be too overzealous with it. But then the other one was, it was a calculation. I should have favorited this, because I want to see if I can pull up the exact post, actually. Because I do know approximately when this was, because this would have been, like, May or June of 2020. Okay, well, that is... Okay, that's when I graduated, so it would have been before. Let's see. There it is. I do have it favorited. Okay. So his exact post was, almost half the class had the exact same wrong answer, both calculation. Okay, so the calculation was for... Also, it's like, he was, like, he had a Walter White Breaking Bad profile picture before it was, like, cool to like Breaking Bad. Like, or, like, before, like, Breaking Bad was, like, modern day mainstream with all the memes surrounding Better Call Saul. Like, dude, this physics teacher was, like, the coolest teacher I had. Full stop. He said, there was a calculation where the answer, which I do remember getting that one correct, it was 305 hertz. Like, I forget exactly what the question itself was, but I remember the answer was 305 hertz. And the wrong answer that he literally says almost half the class had the exact same wrong answer for the calculation, was 3050 hertz. So, off by 10 times. And he just says, no, he said the exact post is 2 observations after correcting the test. Many people did not see the presentations that I spent a lot of time creating. Almost half the class the exact wrong answer. Quite an amazing coincidence. And my main thought is, like, if you are going to, in that situation, attempt to cheat, try to cheat off of a smart kid. Because, like, I was a kid who went in high school, not to brag or anything, but, like, I got moved around quite a few times just because kids would cheat off of me. Pretty frequently. Like, so I had to keep getting moved around because kids would cheat off me. And it's not like I was... I want to clarify, like, it wasn't like I was trying to, help them cheat and be sneaky about it. It's genuinely, like, I was just trying to do my own thing. Which the teachers kind of understood I wasn't complicit, because, like, I was not a popular kid. Like, I was a victim of bullying, so it's like, the teachers knew, like, I am not sliding them my answers, it is that they are being sneaky. And getting caught. Oh, hell. But it's like, if you're gonna cheat off of somebody, like, cheat off of somebody who's doing their numbers correctly. Because, like, if you are cheating off of somebody who managed to lose the coin flip, like, all I'm saying, like, coordinate. If you're going to have, like, almost half the class in on this scheme, like, dog. Like, I'm not saying it's something I would do, but it's like, if you are going to do a scheme like this, make sure that, like, you're having multiple people do the answers. It's like, obviously, if this wasn't... I mean, based on the wording, this wasn't discovered until, like, after the tests had been graded and submitted. So, like, they didn't get caught in the moment. Like, they realistically could have gotten away with it with good planning, but it's like, they didn't have good planning. They cheated off of somebody who, like, didn't know what they were doing. And that's, like, the worst kind of cheating. Like, I'm just saying, if you are going to cheat on a test, cheat off of somebody, especially in a copying answer, copy somebody who knows the answer. Copy somebody who knows what they're talking about. I really should light up that middle area more. I'm actually very glad I stuck around to see that. But it's like, they didn't. And I do think, like, a third of the class failed. And it's like, I'm sure, like, a third of the class being in range to fail, especially after missing out on that test, is part of the reason why. Like, I'm pretty sure that test is part of the reason why, where it's like, they needed to do good on that test, so they cheated instead of studying. And, like, the answers were basically given to us, which, it's not unexpected of this teacher, because, like I said, this teacher is cool. So, like, he, you know, earlier in the year, he said, the third test of this class is going to be the hardest one all year. And that's based on, like, he's been doing this for a long time. He has seen, you know, he knows the topics, and he knows that, you know, it was a test on friction, that third test. It's like, it is the hardest test all year. Like, he knows that is going to be the most difficult subject. And so, you know, he passes out the homework. You know, I'm a good student, I do the homework. I get the test the next day. And the first thing I notice, the test is just the homework with different numbers. So if you did the homework, if you studied, and you understood the homework, you were going to do decently well on the test. Like, you might struggle because you are doing it off of memory instead of having your, like, resources available. But, like, point still stands, you're going to do pretty good on the homework. Or you're going to do pretty good on the test if you just did the damn homework. And it is like, ooh, evident. No, it's like, honestly, it's like, it feels a little cliche to say, but it's like, you know, that is a teacher who had an impact on me. Like, you know, at the beginning of the year, he said, like, you know, once you take physics, it's like, it is going to change the way you look at the world. And, like, he was not lying. Like, yeah, I do still think about things, like, from the perspective of, you know, what I learned in my physics. Like, I think about center of gravity, like, all the time because of what I learned in that physics class. Like, I gotta hand it to him. He was right. Who would have guessed a physics teacher knows what he's doing? A physics teacher knows a thing or two. He was so cool. I don't know if he still teaches. But I do want to... I want to say, like, hey, what's up? At some point. Because I mainly just tell him, like, yeah, you were right. Like, I still... Like, out of all the teachers I had in high school, it's, like, I think about, like, your physics class the most. Because it's, like... I mean, it's, like, again, it feels, like, so corny to say, but it's, like, you know... Like, all those movies about, like, you know, what they say, it's like, you know, when it's a movie about, like, a teacher with trouble, it's like, yeah, when you have a good teacher, that shit sticks with you. It does help that it's like, you know, I'm a science and math nerd. Like, I love math, I make spreadsheets for fun. This is a well-documented fact. But it's like, oh god, like, he was right. He was absolutely right. It's like, I look at the world through, like, what I learned in my physics class. Partially. And I do have him to thank for that. Oof. Yeah, no, that was... I don't know. That was an interesting year. Yeah. And, like, the thing is, too, is, like, to kind of tie back in what I was saying earlier, one of my goals for my senior year, one of my only goals, was literally, I want to become exempt from this exam. Like, I am hearing all year, I know this is a hard class, and so I want to become exempt from this exam. And the thing is, if the circumstances of the pandemic had not been what they were, I would have been. Because my final average in that class was a 90. Meaning I would have been exempt from the exam. And that is... internally, I'm proud of. It's just, like, I do have to give the entire backstory behind it when I tell the story about it, because it's like, you know... on the surface level, that's not that impressive. Because everybody was. It was the pandemic. But man, it's like, that's the stuff I think about when I was in high school. It's like, when it comes to high school, oh god, the stories I can tell about my high school. But, you know, that is ultimately the past, where it's like, you know, there were a lot of good things that happened to me when I was in high school, a lot of bad things that happened to me when I was in high school, and all of them have had a profound effect on who I am as a person now. But at the end of the day, you know, everything is what it is, everything has already happened, there isn't really any change in it. So, best we can do is, you know, smile about the good memories, and laugh about the bad ones. I'm glad they gave me enough to yap about. And that is done. I might add a little bit more to the top, but I'm so stoked that it came out. Because, like, that's the thing. I think with, like, the dark oak, with the acacia, that, like, look at this. And then wherever you look... ooh, yes! And it's all falling down on top of this. I love how this looks. I love this. This is so nice. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna light up the roof, because I do not want mobs. I'm gonna be, like, frequently sleeping throughout the event, just to ensure... perfect, some coal. There we go. Honestly, yeah, just all of them. I'm gonna be frequently sleeping, just to ensure, you know, night doesn't hit too hard. But... still. Oh, right, yeah. Here's what we'll do to keep a cohesive look. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. So we'll kind of just balance everything out here, because you can't place the torches on the leaves. Yoink. Just place them on the logs instead. We'll go 1, 2, 3 levels down. We'll go to, like, here-ish. Do the same thing. I saw the turtle down there, and for a brief moment, my brain thought, uh-oh, creeper. That's fine. The good news is that This is going to be the biggest one. Undoubtedly. This is going to be the biggest one. Because it spans multiple games. Technically, like, that one's going to be up higher. So I might spread that one out a little bit more. But in terms of overall surface area, I think this one's the biggest. There we go. And then we'll just leave those as they are. I didn't think this through. But no, I'm very happy. I'm very excited as well. Because here's another thing that I'm very excited about for the sake of the event is, you know, it's hard to say, like, because I feel like saying, like, networking is such, like, a corporate way of saying it, but if there's anything I have learned, it's not easy to make friends. Which is to say, like, you know, it's hard to, you know, find people and say, like, yo, what's up? You want to do a thing? It's not easy. And this is something I was kind of talking about with a friend of mine. It's not easy because... Oops, did not mean to place 2. Here, I'll just do this to line that up. And alright, it begins. I do just want to make sure it is properly lit up in case we don't get to sleep immediately. Yeah, it is hard to make friends. Because it is... There's 2 statements I believe can exist at the same time, which is, you know, I am grateful for everybody that has offered up their time, that has, you know, stated they want to show up. I'm incredibly grateful for that. I also think that it would have been easier to get more people if I were a bigger creator. Both from the factor of, you know, you have greater reach as a bigger creator. Like, naturally, you just by nature have more people who will see you, and in another vein, want to collaborate with you in order to expose themselves to a bigger audience. But I firmly believe that if you have a bigger following, it is an inherent showing of, you know, your ability, your worth. Something like that. Where, you know, if you already have a big following, you don't really need to prove, like, you're a creator who takes this seriously, like you were essentially somebody worth... It's like you've kind of already demonstrated that you have people who are willing to listen to you. You have people who think your opinions are worthwhile enough to dedicate a portion of the internet's data to keeping updates on your content. Like, I just... It's like, you know, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, that's the entire point of social media. Like, it is a social game at the end of the day. You know, I stand firm in my belief that, you know, as a smaller creator, like, there's pros and cons to reaching out, where it's like, you know, if you are a smaller creator, it could be me projecting. I have no evidence to back this up. That man should be burnt. Oh wait, no, he's under there. So this is just me being totally anecdotal about it, but you know, the way I see it, it's like, you know, as a smaller creator, it can be a little harder to reach out because when you are smaller, you know, even if you've been around for a while, if you don't have a big following, you might have to be might try. I guess the best way to put it is you'd have to try harder to like demonstrate why you are worth talking to. Like, you know, if you were, because, you know, think of it like this. Markiplier. Markiplier is a very big creator. If Markiplier reached out to you for a collaboration, your first thought would be, why does Markiplier want to collab with me? In, like, kind of an imposter syndrome kind of way, if that makes sense. Where you were thinking, like, you know, Markiplier is this massive figure. He's done so much good. You know, what does he see in where he finds me worthy to collaborate? Well, what the hell? Oh, that tree must have just grown on. Oh, that must be a brand new tree. Yeah, this is a brand new tree. Sorry, my brain just acknowledged the green. That was weird. I finally noticed all the green on it, and I was like, what the hell? But, to use an example from, you know, an H-Bomber guy, classic internet figure. Use an example from his video on plagiarism. There's a very pivotal moment in that video where he says, you know, not to be rude, but who the fuck is Boomstick Gaming? To kind of prove his point, where it's like, you know, the journalist, I forget what his name is, but, you know, talking about the stolen Dead Cell review. Where it's like, you know, he's saying that it's like, oh, Boomstick Gaming is like, you know, inspirational. And it's the case of, it's like, who is he, though? Like, this is not a big person. And it's kind of that point of, it's like, you know, this isn't like a channel that has like a pretty big following, that has like pretty well-developed opinions. It's like, this is just somebody who's in it for the love of the game. And while there's nothing wrong about that, it's also a case of, it's like, you know, and I feel like this isn't the best example of what I mean. I just, like, you know, trying to think of, like, random channel for an actual example that isn't just, like, making up a channel out of nowhere, because Lord knows the amount of channels that exist. I don't want to accidentally name somebody who has, like, a sizable community and, like, fire strays for no reason. Okay, we'll shave them for there, and if we need more, we can just grab more, because we have all the trees, right? Dang it. But that kind of gets to my point, where it's like, if there is a small creator, it's kind of like, well, who are you? Like, I feel like you have to, if you're a smaller creator reaching out, you kind of have to prove yourself. Now, thankfully, I do have experience, and also have friends who are in the game, who, and this is one of the great things about making friends, using their resources. Where it's like, you know, I reached out to a friend, and I'm like, hey, who, you know, what do I do? Ooh, that is a very good, ooh, that was a very good point. I just wanted to fill something out super quick, as part of the setup. Yeah, it's like the, there we go. That is a very good question. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's the case where it's like, you've got, you know, if a smaller creator reached out to you, but you're a very big creator, it gets a little harder to parse through, is this a creator who wants to make more friends in the industry, who wants to reach out, who wants to just have a good time, especially, like, because, like, you know, Egg, my friend Egg, Edgy Gamer Gal, for example, I met Egg through a collaboration post. That is not the first time I interacted with them. First time I interacted with them was years prior, when, you know, Among Us was big, and I was like, oh, hey, open slots? But I didn't do a very good job of selling myself. And then I just never unfollowed. But it was a case of, it's like, you know, I reached out again, and I'm like, hey, I wanted to play Payday 2. And thankfully, Egg was, and here we are now. But, you know, in a case of that, when it's not like a collaboration post, it's like just reaching out to somebody, it's like, you know, sometimes it can be a little hard to parse through, like, is this somebody who wants to be friends with me because they want to make new friends, because they want to learn skills, or are they just trying to, like, you know, siphon some clout? And I could totally be projecting here. But I've also heard of, like, you know, in the game of social media, there are just a lot of people who are in it to just get their numbers up. And those people who are there to get their numbers up could kind of care less about how they're going about getting those numbers. So, like, that's what I'm basing my assumptions on. Again, I could be totally off kilter here. I could just be absolutely projecting miscellaneous anxieties onto random people that just straw men that do not exist. I will acknowledge that this is not a strong argument. This is not a strong point to be making, but it is, I think it's, you know, interesting to think about. All this is to say, like, you know, I am grateful for everybody who has accepted the invitation. I am happy that I have had people who reached out, like, you know, who are people who, like, you know, we've never interacted prior to me announcing this event, where they saw the event post and they were like, you know what, I want in. This sounds cool. I'm super grateful to those people. Because, you know, who knows? This could be a case just like with what happened with me and Egg, where it's like, you know, I'm just saying, like, hey, this is a thing that I want to do as, like, an event. I think it'll be pretty fun. And somebody being like, you know what, let's see where this goes. Who knows? Some of the people who, you know, this will be, like, my first time really interacting with them in any capacity, beyond just, like, you know, texting or DMs. Like, this could be an awesome opportunity. This could be, like, I could make, like, lifelong friendships through this. Like, it's not impossible. And I think that'd be super cool if it happens. You know, time will tell. Ultimately, it ends up, at the end of the day, it is a case of how do you go about making friends when you don't have a following? And I guess the answer is you try. You build up your identity, you find out what you are good at, and you try to find people within your niche. Like, you know, build up a... It feels weird to say, like, a brand, but I mean, you know, yeah, it's part of the social game. Build up a brand. Like, demonstrate, like, there's a certain kind of thing you're getting. Like, for an example, it's like, things I would say are part of my brand are, you know, Payday 2 is a part of my brand. Payday 2 is... I mean, obviously, like, Payday 2 is how I met Egg. I am a Payday 2 speedrunner. Like, I even talk about, like, you know, one of my greatest achievements in gaming is being the first person to speedrun Payday 2 full heists. Glitchless every single level post the release of Crude Awakening. Like, it's in, and it's like, yeah, that's a damn impressive feat. Like, has the time been smashed? Absolutely. I know I'm not the most skilled runner in the community. I think the fastest run is like 11 hours. Like, that blows mine out of the water by at least 6 or 7. Was mine also the first? And so, since the rules were based off mine, there weren't rules for me to follow, so I did a bunch of unnecessary stuff. Yeah, that's part of it, too. There's no shame in that. You know, build up your brand. Figure out, like, what you were good at. Like, show what skills you can bring to the table. Like, you know, learn a little bit about, like, marketing. granted, like I went to business school, so it's like yeah, I literally took college classes on marketing that assisted me in this. So like I'm not saying you have to. Like I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube tutorials that can teach you the same stuff for free. But it's also like, develop skills. If you want to make friendships, you have to advertise yourself. For example, like, when Genuine came in earlier, oh, because I posted in the Min server, it's like Min is a friend I made through the connections I made during the, big Minecraft SMP boom of 2020. And hey, if I decided not to advertise in Min's server, which I feel comfortable doing it because, Min and I are homies to an extent, it's like, oh, that's one less person who sees me. It's like, you gotta market yourself, in a sense. I don't know, I feel a little cautious about phrasing it like that just because it feels like kind of, I don't know, tech bro-y. But, it's not easy. Like, I could not tell you, like, how to make friends at, like, a tabletop store or a bar. When it comes to the internet, it's like, find what games other people like that you enjoy, make friends who play those games. Like, for example, I was playing Payday 2 the other evening. Oh, hell. That is, miraculously, that is the first time I have fallen in this hole since I started building this. I have managed to not fall into this hole a single time until now. I'm just yapping away on Dream. But yeah, it was like, oh, I just decided to play Payday 2. And it's kind of like a similar story to like how I became friends with Zombies, who is a very high-level Payday 2 speedrunner, who I have the utmost respect for. Where it's like, yeah, I just joined someone's random lobby and they were like, hey, can you help me with this? I was like, yeah, sure. And like, oh, I added them on Steam. And it's like, have we played together since? Not really, but that's because, like, it's been recently. But it's like, hey, I could reach out. It's like, oh, cool, I might have just made a friend just because I'm, like, good at Payday 2. Like, find something you are good at. Find people who are... And I think another very vital thing is look for people who are looking to make more friends. Because you are not going to... You're not going to make new friends by just, like, harassing people. Like, by finding a friend group and being like, I want to be a part of that. Like, if someone is looking for friends, see if you think you'd be good friends with them. Just by a case of, mutual interest. Because vibes are a whole other thing. Because, like, I've known a lot of people who it's like, I became friends with them because it's, like, vibes. And then, like, vibes change. But, like, if you've got hobbies, you can, like, bond over your hobbies. And then if you happen to, like, get along with them outside of those hobbies, great. I have so many friends that are interested in... Like, anytime I see, like, a Webkins post or a Llamas with Hats related post, it's like... I engage in that subliminally, but I have a friend who's, like, super into that. So it's like, oh, that's that mutual. Or, like, Yakuza, Like a Dragon. Like, I have one friend who's super into that series. So it's like, oh, Majima posting on my timeline? That friend's gotta see this. And it's like, oh, if you've got other stuff you can vibe about that. God. What I think I'll do here, for the sake of, like, simplicity, I'll make these the corners. I'll make 2 corners here. Do I make it even? I'll see how I feel. And then I'll make it even. Ow. It's like, ah. Just be a nerd, I guess. Become a nerd. If you want to be a friend on the make friends on the internet, be an absolute goober. Be a nerd. Be a goofball. Develop yourself as a person. That's the ultimate lesson here. Develop yourself as a person. Because I also know if I met the people I know today as the person I was like 5 years ago. If I met some of these people 5 years ago, we would not get along. Like, the people I know today, they're great. They're fantastic. We probably would not have gotten along. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one, because I want to build the canopy. So this one isn't a square shape. And then it also has to intersect with that. Ooh, this is a challenge. I like this. Wow. Yoink. I don't even know why I'm jumping. Like, I don't have a bunch of scaffolding. It's too late now. I've already committed. Yep, I don't make that. I think I make it like a separate one. Ooh, wait, actually I have an amazing idea. That goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes up 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. You know what? I am gonna grab the scaffolding, actually, because I feel like the scaffolding will assist me here quite a bit. Oh, I'm glad I built all that scaffolding. I'm glad I planted all that bamboo to build all that scaffolding. That makes it a lot more convenient. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, I never finished my thought. From all the way in the beginning, my other inspiration is Russian Badgers, Marvel vs. Marvel vs. is Capcom video, and I mean that was just more the like, oh, he had doing a tournament. But he also said this price. The thing is, he said his prize was $50, and that was a lie. I'm saying my prize is $50, and that is just true. It is $50. Uh. Double check this. Gosh. Okay, there we go. I had to clear something up. The question is, where did I leave that scaffolding? So I know I made it. Because what else would I have done with all that bamboo? Now it's a question of where did I put it? I probably put it in this chest over here. I also need to double check on bottles that are doing. They're doing fine for now. I'll make sure to replace them before I save the world. And there we go, scaffolding. I'll just take a stack with me. Bark, bark. Whew. Yeah, I'm very excited. Oh god, the event. Yeah, to kind of talk more about the thought, it's like I was thinking about, like, I want to do something for my birthday. I think a Connect 4 Invitational would be funny. Because again, that's how this started. This started as Connect 4 Invitational. But it grew into this just because I was like, I want it to be more. So I think this will be a good time to tell you guys some of the cut games. Because the games that we ended up with, the 7 games, well, technically 6 games was Dealer's Choice. Because there might be some people who wouldn't want to count Dealer's Choice as a game, because it's like, is it really? Yeah, the idea is, I had a few ideas. So here's some games that didn't make the cut. One of them was a game of Bluff, which would have been kind of inspired by Beast games. One of the few games of the Beast games was a game of Bluff. But I figured, like, that feels like it'd be kind of difficult to make it work, Like, how do you set that up in a good way, especially over the internet? Like, how do you make that entertaining? Another one was like an art game. Have both players draw something, and then, get a third person to guess what it is. But honestly, that's like Pictionary, and Pictionary is a lot more team-based, and this is singles. Who knows, if this invitational does well in the future, I might do a team-based one if I am able to get enough people. But interesting idea, I think. And then I also Battleship. Battleship was an early idea that I realized would be cut just because it's kind of the same reason why the game is checkers instead of chess. I'm doing my stretch. Stretch. Get up and stretch if you haven't. Good for your bones. Don't fix your posture while you're at it. No, it's kind of the same reason why I ended up not going with chess. It's because I feel like it would just take too long. Where, honestly, I feel a little iffy leaving Moncala in. I know I made some updates. Like, I have Connect 4 as a best of 3, just because that's a typically shorter game, where, like, once you get down to the last few columns, that's the end of it. Like, Moncala was originally going to be a best of 3, and then I realized, like, a game of that will take, like, 10 minutes. So I didn't want to, do that. I didn't want to do that to people. I understand people probably have priorities beyond, let's play the silly Bear Man's game. Right, it's scaffolding. I should have expected that. Yeah, I didn't account for that. You know what? We'll go with it. Oh, heck. Oh, the question is... Oh, I guess that's a put it on the ground then, huh? No biggie. Put it down right next to it just because I don't want to interrupt. Yeah, it's probably fine. I'll pop that down there. Yeah, it's been fun, like, developing this event, like, really thinking on it. I'm very happy. I want to say I'm happy with the final product. We haven't reached the final product yet. Once we've reached the final product, I'll be happy. Like, once everything is done and dusted, I'll be happy. But in the meantime, I'm just excited to do some dumb shit with a group of people. That'll be fun. Okay, here's what we'll do. Since I can't quite reach, it's about 1 block away, I'll just do this. See how that looks. Oh. I like that. I really like that. And it's like you can't really see it, but... Well, that's the thing. We're going to put it over. So you will be able to see it. And I think we kind of have to do like a circle around. So that is... So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the opposite side. That is the leftmost edge of this part. I just want to count the blocks. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me double check. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's between the gap and here. So that's 13. 14 apart. If we put it like here. Let's put it like here. And since in the back we can be a little bit more loosey-goosey with it. Make sure our goose is properly loosened on this one. Bam. There we go. And then, how high up was it? So it being 1, 2, 3, 4, It ended up being 8 tall. Down, and then on this side as well. I mean, technically, we should put it on this side. Particles. So this should be 15. I'm gonna count again one more time for the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 14. So we'll need to do on 7 and 8. So if we want to do proper circlage. So this should also be 7 out, so that's... And technically... That's the midpoint. So I guess you should do like half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Numbers. I think so then that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So be in this. I want to say this point. And then that point. Of I think that works. Oh god, I'm trying to freehand a circle here. Jesus. Oh, and these are too far out, actually. Oop, yoink. Don't you just love it when, like, scope gets so out of hand? We've completely abandoned this part, by the way. We have decided we're just not going to judge it. That's the thing. This part that is so brain-dead simple that, like, we aren't going to need to overthink it. It's like, once we've done that part, like, we're good. It's going to be so funny if I've done all this, like, taken it down and finished up all the prep, and then it's like, oh, think fast, chuckle nuts. We actually, weren't done yet. So just kind of visualize what I'm thinking here. It is going to be a little oblong. We did it here instead. It's really going to be more of an oval shape at the end of the day. But I think I can live with that. It's about the effort. Go with the one that's directly touching. is 1, 2, 3 gap. 1, 2, 3 gap. Yeah, it's a little oblong, but it'll work. Did I mess up here? It's 1, 1. Okay, I'm just gonna. This is why we're doing it. This is why we're drawing it out. Because this does feel incorrect. That's why we're drawing it out. We'll just mirror it on both sides, and we will go from there. We need to move. We'll move it as we need to. We'll move it as we need to. No, I mean, it's balanced. It doesn't feel balanced, but it is balanced. And I think I might just, like, cut into that part just for the sake of... So what I mean is, like... Specifically for these ones. That are, like, right above. We'll cut that part out. Just for the sake of, like, making it more circly. I think that'll be good. It's like, yeah, once we're up there, it's a matter of we connect the logs. Nope, wrong one. Nope. There we go. Ow. But... Nope. There we go. That's what I wanted. Oh, that's so hard. Yep. Ow. We gotta just plonk it out. I just realized this is gonna hurt getting down because this doesn't. That is a future save problem. And I am current save. Yeah, we just keep mirroring. So I do think I probably misplaced, like, my guide markers. But the good thing about that is that that can be readjusted. Yeah. Now we go about... Right, the scaffolding is in place there. Good thing we have dirt. And you know, before I said arena kind of sarcastically, but honestly, now that we have like a roof, it's like, you know, it's giving more pavilion than arena. But it does not look bad. My brain's doing the thing again where I'm acknowledging that the green is present. And I think we'll just go up one per layer this time instead of the two we did over there, just because the circly shape. Ah, heck. I probably should have made one extra pair of shears for those little mess-ups, but we were fine. In the time it'll take for us to, like, have issues with our durability, we could pretty easily just... Oop. Just farm for mending. It'll take a while, just do that. I can't wait to do this and be like, damn, what a good job. Well done for all my hard work. And then I'm gonna look back and it'll be like, oh, right, I have to finish that little piece of shit over there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, they said as it started to rain. They said as it rained directly onto their parade. I really like how this is shaping up, actually. I've said before, like, I do not like building when it comes to, like, and I think I'll cap it up here, because it's relatively small enough. Like, warrant it. And now... sake of keeping everything lit. Could I factor that in while I was doing this? Yeah. And then, just to be a little bit smoother with this, what I'll do... First I'll just break these. I'll put a torch there on the side. Ow. And then if we pop up here, that part's lit. I would just do the same for the other three corners. We don't have to do that again. We do still need to get up there, which, I mean, we just pull. We just pull. I can kind of tag it. Yoink. Good news, it never became future save's problem. Let's take a look at this from a... I want to take a look at it from, like, a distance, and... Obviously, there's going to be stuff beating our ass, but... Huh. Thought that second crit would kill him. Ow. I really like how that looks. I really like how that looks. Ooh, boy. I really like how that looks. Kill. Let us feast. After we rest. I probably could have done a little bit more to make this bit feel cooler, but it's like, oh man. I love how this looks. I wanted to build this stair just because I'm like, ooh, just to make sure there's... You're not... Because without this, like, you know, you look up, it can be a little hard to get a good scope of the board, but I think this is, like, a good perspective. And with the blossoms falling down... Ooh. Oh, I really like that. I'm screenshotting that. I'm screenshotting. Oh, that looks really nice. So now we finish up our connections. Okay. So we'll move this over one to be more in line with what we actually put down. And then, yeah. Okay, so it's just like one block off, but that's fine. I'm glad I did it based off of, like, the vibe, as opposed to where I'd lined up the placements ahead of time. Oh, missed one. And then, yeah, just making sure we're lining up with the corners. See, it's good that we chop down all those logs as well. Why am I building up? I don't need to build up. Building up is a recipe for fall damage. Yeah. Now this is a battlefield. This isn't your standard John battlefield. This is a battlefield. Oh, I like that. I really like that. I'll just pick up bug stick or something. Yeah, like I could definitely do more. But I'm very satisfied with this. Like that's kind of the way I feel. Like I could do more, but I'm so happy with this because this is like way above and beyond what I would normally do. You know what? Here's what I will do as well. I'm just gonna connect these up. Just to have symmetry. If I'm gonna go this route, I might as well go all the way. Let's look nice. Let's leave a good impression for our events. And then let's do it double here to line up with this pathing. I like that. I really like that. Could it be a little bit more spread out? Yeah, but overall, I love this aesthetic. And then, yeah, we kind of have this spread out as a little bit more of a pavilion. And the best part is that doesn't interfere with that at all. Yeah, we have our big stack now. Yeah, it's completely detached. Perfect. Uh-oh. Fear of running out of leaves has kicked in. But here, we have enough bone meal that it's not gonna be relevant. But it'd be really funny if it ended up not being enough. Because I want to be all fancy with a circle. And then kind of keeping the pattern, we'll do double border. Yeah, there's no way this is enough. We're gonna need a little bit more. We're gonna need to make more shoes. We're gonna need to make more shoes. But like we have plenty of saplings, so it'll be fine. I guess you can't prepare for everything. This is purely just, I just really like the cherry blossom aesthetic in Minecraft. And then, okay, and then, yeah, this would be the final layer. If we were doing double layer. So yeah, we're falling a little bit short, unfortunately. I might actually be able to harvest that one. Yeah. We'll go ahead and harvest that one. Because I need to get more iron for another thing of shears anyway. We went through like 4 shears. Oh shit. That's not terrible, actually. Dog, are you trying to... Dog, are you going to really sell me in a kick? Here you go, buddy. 5 ammo. Oh, okay. Alright, I see how it is. Scam artists. Damn. We only need like half a stack more at most. Then we'll be done. Oh my god, it came together. I cannot wait to step back and just take a look at the entire thing. That's gonna be nice. Okay. Yeah, that should be... Oh, that's literally half step. Oh, take me a little bit more. We'll hold on to it just in case. Just in case. Ow. Ow. I need to get better at blocking those messages. Damn schemes. Excuse me. Ow. Well, you know, it's good to get your cardio in. It's good to get cardio in. That's my reasoning. That's my excuse. I will say, with how stressful hosting this event and getting everything set up has been, I'm glad I decided to just do a chill Minecraft building stream. There we go. Bam. I'm absolutely vibing the hell out. This is great. I needed this. It's been a long day. It's been a stressful day. I needed this. Oh, there you go. Alistair has announced his presence at the tournament. Let's go. And this is nice. There's a little... Bam. A little gap here. That's fine. I was like, I feel like I need a centerpiece, but do I really? Do I really? You know what? It's gonna annoy me. It's gonna annoy me if I don't. All the other ones are in line. It's gonna annoy me if I don't. Okay, it'll look a little wonky, but it does look in line. It looks in line, and that's what matters. That's what matters. That's what matters. So now we just have, and I think we can just do the bracket in the middle area. So let me. I don't think I have any. I think I might have some quartz left over. It's left the. Is there an easier way to demonstrate or to get from over here to over there? There's probably, but honestly, boat just feels faster. Da da da. Harvest this as well. For the tournament, when I put this on a server, I am going to just spawn in a bunch of food for everybody. That'll be nice. And where's my meat? I can make a bit more bread. I'll just want like a stack of bread for everybody. Because that feels easier. Be fun. That's gonna be chaotic. Oh, there was a few more leaves that I missed. I think we can start organizing, start packing everything away. They'll be fine. Even if they're broken, they won't despawn while I'm over here. Bam. Just gotta... Nope, not eat wood. Got a lot more cherry saplings as well, which I'm content with. Then cherry leaves. I'll leave that there. This is just me doing inventory at this point. Make sure I got all my ducks in a row. Armaments. Gotta stay organized after all. Yes, I do have quartz. And honestly, I'll just take the acacia logs and do my do. Yeah, this should do me. This should do me plenty. Boat. Boat. Hit him with the boat. And I think what I'm gonna do is, because I don't want it to be too big. Because that's the thing, we gotta meet in the middle. Obviously, we have to have gap. So let's start here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 like spaces to work with. No, not even 10. 9 spaces to work with. So this is like our bound to say. And we have 3 matches overall. So I think, because if we're doing it like this, we don't really want it touching the border, then realistically this is our border. Little gap between where this would start. Boop. Look at me, playing in the sand. So we're gonna need at least this much space. So it's also gonna be... and gap, and then... So the idea is formulating. We do that kinda. But no, that reaches over too far. So I think then... Wrong block. We need sand. We don't need our shoes anymore though. Put those back. I'm just gonna mirror it so it doesn't look as weird. Then we have that, and then we have that, and then we kind of mirror the same thing on this side. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah, so this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they meet in the middle. 1, 2, 3, and then they meet in the middle. Okay, yeah. No, this is fine. Yeah, and then they use spot here, and then we push the one over them. Okay, yeah, no, okay, this is fine. I've been having this problem lately where I just get into the same position, and then I do not readjust my neck. Oh god. And then my neck locks up, and I'm really trying to avoid that happening. Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. So it's like they start there, and it moves to there, moves to there. Moves to there. Moves to there. Yeah. 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 Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh, this looks so cool. Oh my god. Oh, this is what it's like when an idea evolves. This is what it's like when you fulfill an idea. Okay, and then we need to update these. Now we just... There you go, just for the sake of getting that out of the way. There we go. This is our centerpiece. You know what? I don't like the planks there because I think the planks don't stand out enough. Let's use some of that cherry wood. So I'm kind of on the idea of cherry wood. Which of course means we don't have any. One more trip. One more run around the sun. Look, mysterious sources of bone meal. Where did those come from? Honestly, after the stream, I'm just gonna, like, not gonna. I'm gonna go straight up nonverbal. My throat is. One of the downsides of talking all day is your throat just gets sore after a while. I do have plenty of water. I just remind myself to hydrate, but it's also like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Can't sell this kind of pride and accomplishment in the loot box, I'll tell you that much. I'm very satisfied with this. This was a good day. This was a good day. This was ultimately a good day. You know, I'll say I'm the kind of person who's like, you know, I don't really build in Minecraft. I was talking about it earlier. I prefer to just, you know, build what's necessary. But this wasn't necessary. I didn't need to do this necessarily, but I wanted to. I wanted to do it, so I did. And you know, what I think is that the effort will be noticed. You know, time and care went in to all of this. You know, I think that's an important thing to remember, is like, if I don't care about this event, who will? It's kind of like making content. It's like, you know, who's going to care if you don't? You have to put in the effort, you have to put in the work. Oh, and now that you have, look at how far we've come. Like, literally, started this stream, this looked terrible. Like, I'm not gonna kid myself, it did not look good. It was just a bunch of wood in the floor. But now, now it looks great. I'm super excited. I'm so stoked for tomorrow. Alright, last thing I'm gonna do for the night, now that everything is done, I'm gonna put down some, I'm gonna get some item frames. I'm gonna only use 8 just because it's like, you know, I'll have what I need. And then I'm gonna take the world save and put it on an Eternos server if I can. I'm gonna make sure this is put on a server. Because initially I just thought, oh, it'd be fun to just have it be like, there we go. I have 5 people who said like, oh, I'd want to do this. It's perfect. I think it's more fun to have it like mostly take place on a server, and then like anybody who can't join or doesn't want to stream and doesn't want to hop on, yeah, they can just watch the screen share. Alright, let's organize our inventory for the night. Because I think I mentioned that I have to wake up a little bit early tomorrow to like help my dad with some stuff. Physical wise, so I'm gonna be tired. I'm not gonna get a lot of sleep, but I'll be able to finish up my preparations. Oh, amen. Oh, and let me double check on this. Yeah, we can leave this. This is fine. But you know, we might as well collect our honey yield, you know? Ooh, that is lovely. Let's make sure everything... Just because I want to... Right now I'm keeping it as even as I can, so I'm putting everything up to 10 if it falls under. And then I'll figure out the proper distribution later once I have a few more bottles. So I have, as you've seen, I have a lot of glass to make said adjustments. Honestly, I just don't want to... Because I've had the event planned, and planning an event is difficult. So I've been like, I care about other things a little bit more than increasing the bottles in. But I am very happy with... I'm happy with the machine, honestly. I'm happy that it is working out, because it's like, ooh, look at all this... Look at all this honey that we have passively accrued. Here, we'll put it up to 11 in some of these. We missed one. Oh, yeah, duh, it's under... Going back under 10 under because we used the bottles. Yay, look at it. We've already harvested over a stack. That's so awesome. We're gonna require a lot of honey. But we can handle it. Because we are a proud Hex's employee. And we know what we're doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We just need 8 leather. And like a stack of sticks. We already have a stack of sticks. Well, we have most of a stack of sticks. And then we need... that many. It's fine if we have overflow, yeah. Yeah, like we have like 5 overflow, it's fine. And then, I mean, at that point, it's like, how do we represent each person? Who's gonna show up? And I think I'll just figure that out in real time, because again, we have potential. We have a few different potential combatants. There we go, we're ready. So chat, I hope you're all as excited for the event tomorrow as I am. The idea, I'll fill these in with our guests as they show up. We'll compete in these events. I'm going to take the save, I'm going to host it on a server. If I can't get it on an Eternos server, I will just pay for a server for a month. Because that feels easier. And then, I don't know, I might do something with it again. But it's like, I'm not trying to turn this into an SMP. This is primarily a single-player world. It's just more convenient to have people on. So yeah, I'm very excited. So I'll just need to give people some food. Probably also put myself in creative mode, give myself moderator permissions so I can spawn things in there. Please. Oh, so much more to do, but we've accomplished every single one of our goals for tonight. We have used cherry blossom leaves to make everything look pretty, give it a very beautiful effect. We built a scoreboard that is our centerpiece. I'd call this a successful stream. We set out to achieve something and we accomplished it. So I'm gonna do all of the admin work required to get the server up and running for tomorrow. In the meantime, why don't we see if any of our friends are live so we can raid them? Let's see who of my friends are live. I don't really have any friends who are live. Oh yeah, it's because it's midnight. It's because it's midnight. You know what? This is a streamer who I've interacted with a little bit in the past. They're playing. This is a Callistra. This is Callistra. Callistra's playing Repo. So why don't we raid Callistra? Let's get the Callistra raid going. Here we go. We'll switch back to our, there we go, the little explosion from earlier. I don't know how to stop that from happening, so that's just a reminder that good things happen today. It's our little burst of joy. What's a good one? What's a good song to end on? A little bit of Payday music, why not? Go back to our roots. Also, I completely forgot that I had Chillquarium running in the background this entire time. Whoopsie. Always forget about that. That was one more fish for the road. This has been a wonderful stream tonight, chat. This was very fun. Very exciting. I will see you all tomorrow for the board game invitational. And then, on Monday as well, I have another stream planned. Community's voted, we're going to be doing some Payday 2 taxiing. Which will be very exciting. In the meantime, thank y'all for watching. Follow if you have not. Glad I was able to help distract a little bit from any of the bad shit. Glad we were able to chill. Glad we were able to vibe. Thank you for watching. GG to all and swell, good night. Voice off, everybody. Bye-bye.